Hi, this is Brandon, and welcome to video number 2 of the City of Terre Haute website training. In this video, we're going to talk about how to start adding content to the website. So the first thing you want to do is get logged in. Come up here and get logged in. Once you're logged in, you have the black bar on the side. You will navigate to your department. And you'll want to get into the folder that you want to add content to. So in this case, I have a subfolder under the IT folder called Brandon Sandbox. I'm going to go there, and that's where I'm going to add a page. I've already added one page, but I want to add another. So I'm going to come over here to the left side where the plus sign is and click Add New, and go down to Page. And here we have all the information that we need to enter for this page. So the title obviously is very important. Be as descriptive as possible. This is going to be a goofy pretend page, so I'm just going to add some goofy content. Yeah, use that title. The summary is something you'll probably want to enter. Highly recommend using it because when people type in searches for the website, it extracts and searches in the summaries as well as the titles. So I would recommend using that as well. So I'm just going to type in some dummy content here. Okay. And if we go down, we have the text field, and this is where you'll want to enter the content for the website. So you're already going to have the title at the top. So I don't recommend starting off with a heading at the top. I would just start with probably a paragraph. And I have another web page pulled up that I'm going to use to copy and paste some content from, but don't worry about having to do any of this. This is just me using this for demonstration purposes. So I'm going to paste all that in here. Well, let me try that again. I don't want to do that. I want to come to the source code and add that right there. Okay, so this is what we call this is a paragraph. This source code takes you to where you can actually edit the HTML. The HTML is the markup language that's used on web pages, but you don't have to know how to use that. As long as you have a good handle on the editor, you should be just fine. So I'm going to break this up into a couple paragraphs so it's not so block looking. Alright, let's say once I get down to about here, I want to add a heading or a subheading. So I'm going to come here to Formats, and you have all kinds of options here, but I would recommend putting header 2s in the middle of the page. I wouldn't go and use header 1s because I think that's what's used at the top by default. So and then I'll just add some more. I'll add some more dummy text after that. Okay, and then I'm going to wrap up my page with another header 2, and I'm just going to call it summary. So that's just a quick example of a nice goofy page, a nice dummy page that we're adding to the site. The lead image is something that you can use, and I will have another video lesson on that, so I'm going to leave that alone for now. A change note is something you can use. Let's pretend this is not a new page but an existing page. If I made changes to the page, I would add those here. A description of the changes I made is helpful for tracking changes that you've made, and it also lets you know who has made those changes in case you need to talk to that person. Discussion, I think we're probably going to leave this blank or have no value or no. I would just leave this alone. I don't think we're going to have discussion on our pages. Exclude from navigation is something we've used in the past, and I do recommend using this on images and files and anything you don't want to show up on the left-hand column or the left-hand side of the page. So I would use this for files, PDFs, things like that, and images. I didn't add any images to this page, but we'll talk about images in another video. Categorization. This is something that I think we should start using for the city. We haven't used it in the past, but it would make a great tool for us to start using collections. So the way to use tags is basically just think of keywords that the piece of content you're creating is related to. Like say I made a page about servers, for example. Like this is IT, so I'm just going to put servers in there. And let's say networking is another topic that was discussed on my page that I just created. This is going to allow us to go in and add or build collections of content based on certain tags. So I would highly recommend starting using this feature. We haven't used it in the past, but I would recommend it. Related items is something you can use. If you want to add any other page to show up as a related item at the bottom of your content, you can do that here. And this is searching, it starts out with searching your folder that you're in. So I'm just going to go ahead and add my other awesome page as a related item to this one. Dates. This is very simple. If you want something to appear at a certain date and time, punch it in right here. The date, time. If you want it to be taken down from the site at a certain date and time, you enter it right here. I'm just going to leave this blank because I want this to be a permanent page. The ownership, if you want to collaborate with other users, you can add them here. Usually you'll probably just leave this blank. And contributors is something we haven't used a whole lot of either, so I'm not going to use that or this either. So I just want to save this and let's see what happens. Okay, so the blue is a message saying that my item was created, and it puts me on my page. So you can see right here, it's got the related item here. I want to give a tip for editing web pages privately versus what the public can see. And what I would do is I would take this right here. I would copy the URL, the whole thing, and I would go to another browser. In this case, I'm going to use Edge. Open a new tab, and I want to paste. I want to paste that URL in there and go to it. There we go. And what you're going to see is it prompts you for the login page because this is in a private state. So before this content can become viewable to the public, we're going to have to go and publish it externally or submit for publication. It depends on what your roles and permissions are in your department. You may be the one to be the final publisher. You may have publishing rights. You may not. If you don't, submit it for publication. I'll do that right now. Okay. I'm going to travel to the contents of my folder. And you can see in here, let's pretend now I am someone who can publish pages. So what I want to do is go ahead and not set as default page. Don't want to do that. I want to take that and change the state to publish externally and apply. So now that page should be viewable to the public. So what I'm doing is I'm taking advantage of another browser. Oops, I'm still on Firefox. I'm taking advantage of another browser because I'm not logged in on the other browser, but I am in this one. I'm logged in on Firefox, but I'm not logged in on Edge. So Edge gives me the view, or allows me to see what the public would see and experience. when I'm logged in, I can only experience what I would as a logged in user. So Firefox and Edge is what I'm using. It doesn't really matter. You can use Chrome and Firefox, Chrome and Edge. It makes no difference. As long as they're separate browsers and you're logged in on one and out on the other. So I'm now, since that page is published externally, I'm going to hit refresh and I bet it's going to appear. And it didn't. Why did it not appear? Let's go ahead and grab the URL for that. I'm going to right click on the URL, copy link location, and nope, other browser. Let's go here. Paste it. And you can see now I can view that page. And this is what the public would see. So that is a rundown of how to add a page to the website. Adding other content is going to be very similar. I'll have more videos in the future about that. You can see that the title is right here, so there's no need to really put it inside your content. I don't know what that dot is, but if we went back and edited the page, we could probably get it to disappear. Don't worry about anything that might be displaying abnormally right now. We're still developing the website, but you get the rundown of how to add content to the site. This is not displaying like I want it to either. I'd probably have to go back in and change my related items. I don't want two of the same links showing up, so I would have to do some work there. The summary is blank. I'd add a paragraph under that as well. But you get the idea of how to create content on the website. And that's going to wrap it up for this one. I'll talk to you in the next video.